Here's a news flash for you. Mel doesn't need my help.
I absolutely adore Doc. He's brilliant, he's clever, he cracks me up every time he speaks. He's charming, and I swear to God, if you are gonna scorn like a Scotsman.
Have you seen any of her videos? Or is this just a thing that you're trying to do this divide and conquer, that Mel needs my help because I have testicles for some reason? That was awesome. Thank you so much. I sound much better when I'm not live and when people edit me nicely. And G-Man, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching the show, brother.
Oh my goodness. So that intro is made by Peter, aka Gonna Go For It, who also made these screens. He's also made the outro. And so welcome to the very, very first episode of Oral Audacity, where I, ScientistMel, am joined with Doc Savage, other side. There we go. And we rip apart and utterly destroy nonsense. And today our nonsense is Deepak Chopra. Woohoo!
He's a little bit like the high priest of sort of vague woo, isn't he? I mean, perhaps introduce him to the audience in all his divine glory, quantum awesomeness.
Well, I think he's part of the quantum woo, the quantum woo world. So I have a little character that I make up, and I've been using them as little promos for this. I called him Arlo Moon Wolf. Kind of like David Avocado Wolf and Deepak Chopra had a baby. You get that person. So
Mel,
Chopra.
I've got
yes.
Dude, I've got a question for you. Sorry, I need to jump in.
No,
Stream of consciousness thing.
Okay.
If I change my middle name to a vegetable, does that make me more convincing to morons?
It probably
like David
would.
Avocado Wolf.
If
Ian
you
Charles
were to put
Beetroot. That's like Ian Charles Beetroot Bolton. That's me.
No. You should go with arugula.
Arugula. That's funner. That's more fun to say, actually. Ian Arugula Bolton. I could do that.
Yeah.
I feel more convincing already.
Dr. Arugula.
My chakras.
That could be like a show.
My chakras are totally aligned. That's what they do, right?
They're aligned. Yeah, they get out of whack, I suppose. And that's where Deepak Chopra comes in. He comes in and he's like, we must have this consciousness of this quantum consciousness that kind of touches our inner souls, and we have to meditate in order to make it purified again. He has a resort that you too can pay lots of money to go to and opt to participate in various studies that they do at the resort on your dime. So I've thought, Doc, is there a way that we can get really wealthy, white, rich people to give us money so we can experiment on them?
Yeah, just make up a vague religion. There it is. Hey, and you never pay taxes either, so fuck it. You know, L. Ron Hubbard did it beautifully.
He did do it quite well. But we need to have legit experimentation though, because we're ethical.
Mel, we could start a church tomorrow called the Church of the Eternal Dumbass, and we could have 100,000 members paying tithes in 5 years.
You think?
Yeah, I've got the songs already written. You may be a dumbass, but Jesus still loves you. Give Doc your money. Something like that,
Yeah, I could do something. We could have
suffering and dying.
We would have to call it Dumas though. Duma. Dumas. It's French. We could say it's French.
we get sued by the Shawshank Redemption people for stealing their joke. One joke, the only one they had in that whole thing.
Joke.
You went a little robot there.
I'm like a little robot.
Your comeback. You might want to refresh.
Refresh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I shall refresh what vMix?
Yeah, just the web browser screen you're on.
Okay, I will refresh it.
Hello, are you hearing me?
I am hearing you. Yay!
You're back. Awesome. So I diverted you from the care and feeding guide of the Deepak Chopra.
Yes. All right. So if you're not familiar with Deepak Chopra, one of my favorite things to watch is when Professor Brian Cox calls him out and fights with him on Twitter. It's just it's so much fun. He calls him out, and I'm just sitting back there with my popcorn. Deepak Chopra is not respected whatsoever within the scientific community at all, because he doesn't really do anything outside of outside of just throwing lots of science words into a paper. This paper that we're going to talk about, they ran blood tests, and they had these women that there was 90 women in this particular study.
Mel,
and
you're going into the preemptive spoiler program.
Preemptive spoilers.
Yeah, you're telling everybody what they're about to see.
Okay,
and that's cool, but we want to keep your powder dry. I'm just saying.
Okay, how about this? How about all right, so Doc, why don't we start with you tell me all the things that you think that just bug you about Deepak Chopra.
I'm just thinking, I dislike verbosity and vague ideas combined very much. And I think it's a sneaky tactic to halfway hypnotize and otherwise blast with pseudoscience a gullible audience. That's pretty much it. Plus, all he needs now is your credit card number. And he's also, I think, a self-aware charlatan. Or maybe he actually believes the bullshit he says if he can understand it, because he certainly can't explain it. And that would match it.
We do have a video of him explaining this fantastic research for this paper that I sent you. It is, he went to this conference and he's so proud of this work. So a little bit of science for those of you watching and listening. He gets into essentially saying that with this particular paper, he's getting into essentially saying that they've changed genetic expression of certain proteins. All right, because we know DNA is go through all that. So you have that, and your little ribosomes read the RNA, and then certain proteins are made. So he feels that they've changed genetic expression of certain disease-related biomarkers just from these women going to a resort for 5 days. The ones who meditate versus the ones who are just hanging out on vacation. The vacation people paid their way in. A handful of people in the study actually got in free.
Mel?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we are having technical issues with Streamlabs. It is going through and deleting messages left and right from people for just...
Oh shit.
For what?
Like C4 said LOL Nana, which is one of the guys is NA/NA, and it just deleted the message because reasons. So
AI fascism, man.
You might want to turn off your chat moderation from Streamlabs.
Okay, I'll go take care of that now. See, You know, that's not intentional. I actually went through and was trying to go in and put in like a new thing with like points. So I must have done a thing. So is it under CloudBot? Is that what I do?
None of this means anything to me.
I think
I'm
it
gonna
would be
just-
under CloudBot probably, yeah, because it's a bot.
I'm
for
going to
sure.
turn off. I'm going to turn off CloudBot for now. Okay. We're going to I'm just going to rely on moderators. You guys do a job anyway. Sorry about your messages getting deleted. You know, it is not
Yeah.
a scientist
Fuck you,
stream.
CloudBot.
It's not a ScientistMel stream unless I have some sort of really weird technical difficulty. So I've turned off CloudBot. None of that now. Yay!
Maybe it's Magical Dan finally, doing something.
Oh, Magical Dan? Are you talking about your mouse that was in your house?
No, that's Slippery Dan. Magical Dan is a demon that was sicked on me about a year ago. And, well, he's still in the wind. What can I say?
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry. Magical Dan is not very nice. I do have to say, though, Doc, you're really good with the supernatural when it comes to me finding my car. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that was awesome. I actually, I was returning, to an airport that I'd never been in before with like 50 massive car parks. And I knew the space number, but I didn't know the car park. So I prayed to Hunter Thompson. And he told me what to do, and I found my car. It was really good.
Oh, that's good. That works out.
I pressed the button and said to the guy, "Where's my fucking car?" And they came and took me to it, and it was lovely. Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that works out. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! Streamlabs is a Chopra operative. That's what they're saying.
It's the quantum AIs, man. They're coming for us.
Oh, goodness. All right. So, hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you.
We don't hate you.
We don't hate you. And I too am learning technology. So there you go. And Doc here looks like he's about to drop a really hot album from the latest from the Scornful Scotsman, I guess.
No. I mean, it's a possibility. My instruments arrive in about a week, but I'm kind of busy doing cancer curing things that are apparently verboten if you are a Jehovah's Witness. So there's that.
All right. So do you want to have a look at this video that we have of Deepak explaining all of his fantastic science, where essentially he feels that since people meditated at his resort, it that their DNA, their protein expression has changed from these little biomarkers in polymerase. If you're not familiar with that,
awesome.
That's the enzyme that lengthens your telomeres when your cells undergo replication, particularly the DNA replication. So, all right, cool. Let's watch Deepak Chopra pretending to science.
And I've only mentioned the good ones because there are bad ones too. These express themselves as our energetic body and ultimately as our physical body and ultimately as the experience of the physical world. Now, recently we've completed...
Okay, can we pause? Yes.
Right, first fallacy. So your energetic body and your fucking spiritual body? Really? What do you actually mean by that, Deepak?
Well,
actually, I just had an idea for a crossover rap artist called Tupac Chopra. I think that would be great.
You should that should be your album that you come out with, Tupac Chopra. Scotsman rap.
Talk sense.
Boy, that'd be cool.
Deepak. Talk sense. He would quickly learn if every time he conflated a whole bunch of terms and inserted like multiple assertions, that there was someone on the stage that just slapped him across the face every time he did that. I guarantee within 90 seconds.
Pavlovian. And what is that? That's like, that condition. You're basically psychologically conditioning him, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
psychological
that's right.
conditioning.
No,
Okay,
deep
all right.
Bad-
Let's
bad
keep
deep
going.
some studies at the center to see if we can actually create some science out of this. And so we took a group of meditators. These are our collaborators from various universities, and one of them a Nobel laureate. And what we did is we took people through a 5-day experience called the Seduction of Spirit, where we teach them deep
Seduction of
meditation.
spirit.
And we then looked at what was happening to their psychology and to what was
Okay.
happening in the heart and the brain. The heart rate
Oh,
variability is probably the
Rats,
best
don't they look
measure
like
of
science?
stress, and it responded to meditation within
I can
a few
read
seconds.
I love it when they bring.
in a
I love it
positive
when they
direction.
bring data.
We also looked
Yeah, let's
at
see it.
cellular aging. Can we reverse one slide, please? We looked at biological aging. Just reverse one slide.
You missed
go
the
back.
really important data.
Or don't go
That
back,
nobody
never
can
mind.
read at all.
Okay, so
Here's
cellular
all of this
aging,
stuff.
we looked at the brain, we looked most importantly at gene expression. And this has never been done, by the way, before. What you're seeing is still unpublished.
Nobody's ever looked at
Never
gene
been done.
Written up right
No.
now because 6
Nobody's looked at
institutions
gene
are
expression
involved, and we
ever.
had
Oh, but
control subjects. It's one of the
meditation,
best
how it
highly
affects gene
controlled
expression.
residential meditation retreat studies ever done. And
With a
this
whole
is,
90 people.
what we found. The
Okay, let's see what
meditations
they found.
included mindfulness, mantra meditation, self-reflection, self-awareness, transcendence, and a few other breathing techniques. As I said, this was an intense study. We studied emotions over a period of 5 days, and you can see that they moved in the
Self-reported
direction of
subjective data.
positive emotions
Yeah,
like
yeah.
more empathy, compassion,
Good.
They had
joy,
like a scale of 1 to 5
We also
and 1 to 4.
looked at
1 being
spiritual
no
identity,
problem,
which
4 being
moved from
awful.
local,
Spiritual
not local.
identity. Oh,
But
here we
here's
go.
the most interesting thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We studied the enzyme telomerase, which looks at biological aging at a cellular level, and in 4
Okay.
days, it went
Yeah.
up by 40%, which was the
So they
first
saw more
and most remarkable,
polymerase present.
Hang on.
most remarkable statistic.
Pause.
that has-
I love it when they bring data. Let's have a close look at this bullshit. So I'm looking at percentages. My resolution is really bad, and so are my eyes. Is the first one
Yeah.
1%?
The
16.
first one's
Excellent.
16%. Yeah.
40%. So the resort, the novice retreat, and the experienced retreat. Okay.
Yeah.
How many people are represented in each, and what is the standard
About
deviation of this?
30. So
Of this
there's 30
self-reported
people.
thing?
For
Okay.
they did self-reported things where they met with people, and they had to fill out a questionnaire every morning. All right. They also had blood drawn in the mornings prior, right after fasting. That's what they said. There's 30
Right.
people in each. The resort are people that are just on vacation. The novice meditators, the ones who had never meditated before, we're like way down low. So I guess it was that reverse. They
Yeah.
had like negative effects.
Well, prima facie, yeah, it's an interesting thing, but unless you have at least plus and minus a standard deviation and an understanding of how accurate or inaccurate the test used is,
Yes.
and perhaps the phenomenology associated with an increase or decrease of this type, it's meaningless.
It kind of is. And then what they saw is that there was an increased amount of telomerase with the meditators who were experienced. So
Sure. Okay. So
now keep in mind, these are all women. These are all women, and their demographics are around $90,000 to $100,000 per year, and as far as annual income. So these would have access to all kinds of things normies don't have access to,
So I'm interested in, how the samples were, or how the subjects were matched as well. So obviously there's a difference in their experience of whatever woo is going on. But otherwise, are we talking about old people, young people, very old people?
I couldn't
moderately young
couldn't
people,
get
healthy
that
people, not?
information.
No?
I was trying to
See,
find
it's
that, and I
kind
couldn't
of
find it, you know?
it's kind of
In
important.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's funny when they were doing, and I
Yeah.
went and I read the supplemental materials because they don't get into a lot of, and I posted a link, guys, paper in the description. If you want to have a look, you can rip along with us. And so they, at one point in time, they took the blood of a 56-year-old person who was healthy at the time and used that a bit as a control when they were doing the blood work, just a
Yep.
random person. And I'm like, okay, that's
Why?
kind of interesting. I have absolutely no idea why, but they did that.
It's kind of a meaningless control. But fair enough. It's
Yeah,
another data point.
you know.
What does
And
what does the
somebody,
little asterisk mean, by the way?
I have no idea because it doesn't say.
Is it, that usually means something.
Yeah, usually there's like a footnote or something, but Deepak is not known for his fantastic presentations, as we're saying. So,
So,
I think
I
I'm
mean,
going to judge him harshly on this.
so far, I mean, the data is interesting, but again, without those nuances, it doesn't really mean anything. However, I can't prove that it doesn't. And the subjective reporting of wellness is, I guess, a reflection of how people feel subjectively, and that's great, But it's not really data. Let's find out what
Let's get it rolling.
His thing is.
Ever been documented. 4 days of meditation increasing an enzyme that controls your biological age at the level of the DNA. Telomerase influences the length of telomeres, which are like little
yes
buttons at
and
the end
no,
of your
Deepak.
chromosomes, which control your biological age. So we then took
there's
those
more to
samples
it than that.
and we sent it to our colleagues at
He won't go
Harvard
into
and
that,
Mount
though.
Sinai here in New York, and they looked at everything you could possibly imagine. They looked at hundreds of gene.
Looked at
It's the
everything.
fucking Death Star, man.
Imagine.
It's the Death Star.
He looked at all the things.
Everything.
It's like he's like the Willy Wonka of woo. It's everything you could possibly imagine. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
But actually, I mean, what we're looking at here is really, genuinely super cool. Because if I'm correct, it's a tractable map with each point representing a particular gene being expressed or not. That we can do this now, and it's not like hugely. Well, it's amazing science, but this is a thing that can be done semi-routinely. Just blows my mind because none of this was thought of in the 1940s, and none of this was possible as recently as, well, the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the Death Star.
They said, why does he keep saying we? The paper specifically says he had nothing to do with it. That's true. But he takes credit.
I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put that on anything I publish now. Oh, and by the way, Deepak Chopra has nothing to do with this.
Oh, goodness. He does. He didn't have anything to do with the data collection, but this all happened at his resort, and it was funded by his foundation. So, and there are people who have,
I wouldn't be surprised if he was as sneaky as, excluding people from the study whose blood work didn't support the thing. But who knows? Maybe he's actually honest.
I read through, if you read through the supplementary materials, and this is where it got a little sketchy for me. They went through, and when they were doing the RNA analysis, if they didn't get the results that they wanted, they would if it came out like weird because QC threw it out or something, they would redo it, I think it was, what was it, repurpose? I can't think of the word right off. And re-prepare it and then run it again. And if it didn't work, they just threw it out.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Was this done in a legitimate QC environment with GMP in place and traceability and whatnot? Something
I
tells
think
me
so.
not.
They did
Seriously.
ship it. They shipped it off. Let me see. They did ship it off. Crap. Let me see if I can find it. I can pull up the paper. How about we keep going through this, and I'll pull up that information while
I'm distracting. Let's go to the Death Star or the scary horror dome here.
Expressions and what we call proteomics, proteins, and we saw an increase in the direction of homeostasis, which is self-regulation, and a decrease in the level
An
of
increase in the direction
inflammation
of
and susceptibility to things like Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes, and so on.
like your cells just stop undergoing
And these are some of the
homeostasis at any
results in
given
detail.
time, and
There are
you're still
more,
alive.
but genes that regulate
dude,
heart
he's getting
health moved in a
specific.
positive direction were enriched 17-fold. Genes that regulate homeostasis, regulation of biological activity, 17-fold. Absolutely shocking. And as I said, for the first time, what we
Deepak,
were
I've got a
able to
deep, dark
study
question
was not
for you,
possible a
Deepak.
few years ago because the technologies weren't there to look at the
Deepak,
entire genome and the
Can
genome
we pause
expression.
it?
I've got a question for Deepak. Deepak, did you go through the transcriptome analysis and pick out the ones that kind of increased, and then you cross-searched against the good things that they do? Did you do that, Deepak? Because I think you did.
He probably. I'm not certain that he did. Let me see the companies that he used. Let me look at the supplemental.
Oh yeah, I'm
You can,
no disrespect to the companies. I'm sure they're totally legit. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think he kind of did that, and he probably kind of looked at the ones with negative connotations that also increased and forgot to include them, and will never show the overall data. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does have
sneaky little sneaky little weasel.
He is a sneaky little weasel. I still want to know why they got the blood of a 57-year-old healthy person just and then like here, and then we compared it to this, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, great. I know why they got his blood. They're going to make a Jurassic Park equivalent, except with people in middle age. It's going to be great.
Okay. So I've got the supplemental data pulled up on my computer. Your specific questions. Okay. They go into the psychological well-being. We already know that's crap. Individual gene differential expression signatures for baseline versus follow-up. They went through and they checked after 5 days, and then I think it was after a few weeks, or like the 3 months, and then 10 months. So they did go through and look at that.
Oh,
yeah.
That's actually really impressive.
Yeah, they did. Some people dropped out though, so I guess they didn't get those. But keep in mind, each individual group here is about 30 people. So you have 30 people that were vacationing, 30 people that were novice meditators, and 30 people that were heaviers. All right, so you want to know about reference on the gene part. I can tell you what their assay methods were as well. If you're curious.
I'm not really interested. It's more the interpretation of the data and the fact that several things are really obviously absent that you would tend to present, like basic graph discipline, statistical analysis, patient matching.
They're using the Agilent bio analyzer. It's, all right. Icon Institute Genomics Core at Mount Sinai. So, all right.
Yeah. These are totally legit.
Yeah, they're all totally legit. All right. So this is what they said. 4 samples were removed because they yielded less than 20 million total reads, or had greater than 5% of reads aligning to the ribosomal RNA. Based on 2 attempts to produce quality sequence, all samples failing either QC criterion or on the first attempt were reprepped and or resequenced, and those failing twice were removed. They entered the RNA sequence data was entered into data processing in the QC pipeline. The reads were mapped to human reference genome HG19 using Top Hat version 2.0.9 and Bowtie version 2.1.0. So, they did known ensemble gene levels were quantified by HT SEQ version. It's all like not interesting to the people in the chat, I imagine. So they did quantify with particular well-known stuff. Yeah, all right. And then they did a relative isoform of abundances.
Can I jump in?
Sure.
The data sounds absolutely solid. But you can take a great data set and chop it the fuck up and misrepresent it like this douchebag probably is. And
yes.
Fair enough, you know. I would bet or at least a couple of burgers, maybe a beer, that he's really picking, and he fucking knows it.
Yeah. I mean, and they did reconstruction. They used Bayesian analysis, so Bayesian networks. And so they did a reconstruction of that. And they found that they couldn't say, although edges in Bayesian networks are directed, we can't infer causal relationships from the structure directly in general. So they couldn't actually infer that, but that's what they say in the paper.
What does that mean in regular people talk, not science talk? No.
Okay, so in regular people talk, they said even though it's like correlation, they correlate, but one doesn't necessarily cause the other. For instance, there's a correlation of Nicolas Cage films and pool drownings. So even though the trend lines in comparison, you can compare the two and it looks similar, it doesn't mean one causes the other. I guess we should finish the video. People probably would rather look at us than that dude. God.
Douchebag Chopra, bring it on. Show me your data.
Yeah, let's finish that up. I'm sorry. I just happened to get that, and I guess we should have done it.
Where are we now? We are now looking at a new idea, which is called self-directed biological transformation. How through your own consciousness,
here it comes. Here's my limited spurious data and how it validates
in the direction of actually influencing the biological markers of aging and the expression of yourself at every level. This particular program, which we are embarking on now, includes meditation, but also detoxing therapies, and also looking at the microbiome, because you have 600 trillion cells in your body. Only 10% are human. The rest of them, so of the 600 trillion cells in your body, only 6 trillion are human. The rest are bacteria. You're a walking bacterial colony with a few human cells hanging on. And
especially your bunghole.
We are looking at the microbiome. The richest source of microbiome is your skin and your
teeth.
GI tract.
So the GI tract is way up there, like way up there, dude.
Taking adaptogens, even massage, we can see how we change the microbiome and how that microbiome interacts with our genes.
Okay.
So there's always an element of actual science in what he says.
Is that there is indeed a solution. Can you go back one slide, please? That there is a solution to the so-called hard problem. And the solution to the hard problem is we are asking the wrong questions. When you ask the wrong questions, then
what is the hard problem? I don't understand what the hard problem is.
But if you change the way we ask the question, is consciousness fundamental in the universe? And many people are saying that. If you watched David Chalmers a few weeks ago at TED Conference,
many nut jobs are saying that
consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe as much as gravity or space-time or atoms. Don't think of consciousness just being here. Consciousness here is very interesting. It speaks in English with an Indian accent. But that's not what consciousness is. Consciousness
You're
is
really not
Okay.
funny, Deepak.
Sentience
Yeah,
means
you're
the
not a
ability
comedian.
to think and feel, to take in information, to process information,
I have
and
to
to
say,
come up with
this
a
would probably
response.
be really good
And
for my
that seems to be
insomnia, like
everywhere
at
in
3
the
a.m. if
universe,
I'm awake.
from
No,
atom
don't
to
do it.
galaxy.
Don't do it.
There's a
It's
Don't
not
do
universal
worth
it.
it. Here we
domain,
go. Vital.
a collective domain, a personal domain. It projects as our intellect, our ego, as the energy fields of our bodies, and
The
ultimately
energy
Okay.
as our
fields.
physical body
I've got an energy
and
field.
our physical universe.
I do
These are some
too.
of the emerging
Oh gosh,
technologies
man, the
which will be
quantified
able to
body.
quantify the
And here's
self.
all the stuff you
But
can buy. All
this
right, I'm
is
done looking
the
at this,
conclusion.
man. I just want to put my head in the wall. Okay,
Yeah.
me and talk back because
Fuck
I
you,
think
Deepak.
everybody.
Fuck you, Deepak. You're a self-aware scamming bastard. And, you know,
Oh
you're
my
quite a good performer and a poet, but you're a snake oil salesman. Go fuck yourself. Sorry, I mean,
It's the
energy fields.
energy field. You have a massive hand right now.
Yeah, actually, I can change the size of my hands. It's one of my many superpowers.
Is that, are you using like quantum energy to go and enlarge your hand in order to reach out to the audience here that are just, oh
That's
my
right.
God.
Oh yeah, is anyone
Oh my
convinced
God.
yet by Deepak and his?
I am not.
I don't know.
I
What do you
kind of
even
want to
call
point
that?
out something. You call it a bunch of crap. It's just like and I actually wrote an article on my website about why it is for Deepak Chopra's kind of nonsense. If you're able to speak with an authority type of presence, throw in a couple of hard sciencey sounding words,
Yeah.
but not dumb it down too much. People will absolutely buy into it. And there are some studies, those people who kind of get into all of those daily quote type of Deepak meditation meme stuff, they tend to have a lower IQ.
Well, I'm an occasional lecturer. I've used that kind of voice rhythm and performance style to actually get across things that are true, as in the so I get it, and he's good at it. But
he is.
I've seen too many guys selling shit, in the market, and it's just exactly like that. But good luck to him. As far as it goes,
I want to point out some of the things that they actually discuss in the discussion. Our study has several limitations. The changes in biomarkers and GE patterns appear salutary. However, no studies have tracked these markers to see how well they predict disease on longevity in a healthy sample.
Yeah, so the data they're selectively posting, even if it was absolutely fucking rock solid, which it may well be, doesn't actually have any demonstrable effect that is known or understood. Great.
They said, the sample size is really small, and is empowered to only detect medium to large effects. So of course,
yeah. And then there's no control samples at all.
No, that was the vacation.
Joe the Ragman.
Yeah. And then they have, for example, there were very in addition, comparing regular meditators to non-meditators is somewhat problematic. Their own study, they say, is problematic. Given regular meditators likely differ on many lifestyle factors that make such comparisons complicated.
Yeah.
Like they're already taking care of themselves.
Complicated, a word which here is the same thing as meaningless.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, the best read of this is you've got a paper that reports a very limited study and is maybe interesting phenomenology, but doesn't prove dick all about anything. I mean, to be blunt about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. They did all of these super nice tests and assays and checked telomerase activity and looked for all of these different expressions for these particular genes, and they're like, hey, by the way, our study doesn't matter because we couldn't even control they actually talk about the fact that they couldn't control just how much people meditated. It was optional. So it's just like you
Well, there you go. I mean, so I mean, I've published papers that I wouldn't publish now, but that was 20 years ago, and I've learned shit. So maybe that, but I don't like the plug-in to it. Let's say everything in the paper totally legit. What does that have to do with your spiritual energy fields or other nebulous concepts? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. I'm like,
yeah,
there is a bit of a
slow
jump
breathing.
there.
Slow breathing, not being at work every day, and just kind of having a nice meal prepared for you, not really having to, yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's interesting that they didn't measure the obvious things like cortisol and adrenaline and blood pressure and heart rate and breathing. The things that are really easy to kind of pull up that are strongly indicative of certain states.
Yeah,
Or
here's
did they?
here's
No,
a
they didn't.
here's a conflict of interest. Here you go. JL is a minor shareholder, less than $10,000 in Telomere Diagnostics, a telomere measurement company that had no role in the current research. PYL is an employee of Capella Biosciences, a computational pharmaceutical company. ESC, EES, and RET were past awardees of the Chopra Foundation's Rostrom Roy Award. The remaining authors declared a conflict of interest. Plus, this all happened at Chopra's resort. I should point out, some people were freaking out that this was published in Nature. Now, keep in mind, this is it's translational.
In Nature?
Yes, it's a Nature paper, but it's in their translational psychiatry publication. It's got an impact factor of like 4 or something.
Yeah, so they're for the non-science nerds out there, Nature is now a bunch of different publications with different impact factors, and some of them are very niche and not really well developed, like the one that you're mentioning. And by comparison,
that's borderline
Nature Immunology has an impact factor of, I think, 27 in comparison. So. And that's a function of the quality of the work that tends to be published there. But this is interesting, or maybe nothing, and probably absolutely nothing. But the conflicts of interest don't really change that. It's a piece of shit.
Just the awfulness of the paper. Okay, so we can all agree that this paper is absolute trash. It's hot garbage with a pretty little Nature publication on it, but that doesn't mean anything because this journal is borderline woo.
And you know what? Buy a bunch of crystals if they make you happy. Great. I mean, I buy bottles of whiskey and they kind of make me happy. So
vodka made me happy yesterday. So, kind of is. Except, I actually feel effects from vodka, not, crystals. So, any questions? I'm going to check the chat really quick for questions before we have your challenge, man. Can I have a cookie? I mean, a wrench. Pluto the dog. I'll have to. I need to. I'll wrench you, I guess. I can't do that.
I've got a question from the chat.
Okay.
Does anyone think I'm involved in ongoing crimes against humanity for filthy lucracy? Just to be interested. Because I know certain of the holier than thou bunch have been in it, and I find it really interesting and kind of funny.
Oh, well, Metal Music and Chill says Doc Savage is giving me a Robert Downey Jr. vibes with this look, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, very much. Actually, Robert Downey Jr. calls me for advice on how to be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I kind of believe that a little bit with our conversations we've had. I completely get that. Oh, goodness. Did you see this at ScientistMel? An unexpected finding was that regular meditators had shorter telomeres, which is associated with aging, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and some types of cancer.
Yeah, except they weren't age matched against Dick. Were they regular meditators, perchance generally younger than the others? If so, meaningless data. But God bless their hearts for trying, you know.
Yeah, in the South we say,
is
"Oh, bless their heart."
dude, this is
you know.
so very much better than Standing for Truth's thesis, by the way. So it's good and 10 out of 10 for effort.
Yes. They did actually try, and he looks so proud of his super awesome research. And you're just like, dude, all you got to
Yeah.
do really is just kind of go through, look at the sample size. And if you're curious about how to read a scientific paper, I've done a video on that in peer review. So you know what that's like. It's just
Yeah.
like getting,
If you don't know,
sandpaper.
at your age, Deepak, if you don't know it at your age, you're never going to get it. And I think you know that, and I think you know that you're a scammer. And you probably do people a bunch of good, but selling that old placebo thing wrapped up in whatever woo you're peddling. But here in the grown-up world, I'm going to try this at the next board meeting, and it's going, right, everyone, gentlemen, ladies, align with me your chakras, and we'll go make some medicine, right? You ready? Let's see how far that goes.
Oh, please. Please, record that for me and send it to me. I won't share it without your permission, but I feel like absolutely have
that's never, it's never going to happen. Never.
Okay, so Brian Harris says, I know you guys had to suffer through 5 hits. That's kind of code for the shit show. Yeah, that's neat. By the way, my condolences for that. But in consolation, I got to say, that was like a douche pack choke crap episode of MST3K.
Tupac Chopra.
Awesome. Oh my God. Okay.
We should get Hannibal into the Tupac Chopra bit. They would love that stuff.
We could. I think Monty is still in France. I'm supposed to be on the Hannibal and Monty shit show this week, talking about the X-Men. You want to hop on?
I'm right next to France, although France is big. So
yeah, France is pretty big. All right, so I think I'm catching up on the chat. I'll get you a wrench, Pluto, Mr. Pluto the dog. I will. I can't do it right now through this particular.
A wrench for the old block of Zulu.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Okay, I'm catching. You guys had a lot to say while we were. All right.
If G-Man's watching.
He's blocked on my channel. I have actually. Maybe I should unblock him.
Yeah. G-Man, you're a douchebag.
Anyway, he went and decided to make a video about my human evolution one. Didn't actually watch it before I streamed watching it, and so he's like, "I bet she doesn't talk about this." And then really my next sentence.
Well, I want to cross advertise that G-Man is doing an intelligent design and Noah's flood and age of the earth bit coming up, I believe on Monday, and he's not going to use a whole bunch of really pre-bunked arguments. Nope, it's going to be absolutely fresh creationist drivel straight from the greatest undiscovered genius and philosopher over time.
I have DJ Warning GP. I don't know what your text is. I'm trying to catch up on everything. You have to keep in mind, I use Restream, so I have YouTube, Periscope. I also have Twitch coming through in Discord. So I'm getting through the sea of things, trying to I'm trying to catch up. Anywho, yeah, unblock G-Man.
I don't have any of those things because there are more than enough ways that people want to get in touch with me. And you
do check your messages sometimes, so that's nice.
I have people to check my messages.
Okay, so are you ready to play a game, Doc? You ready to play a game? Okay, so we have
Let's
a new
do it.
segment. Okay, so this is a segment where we go, is it real or nah? And so guys in the chat, you can play around too, and you can guess. And what we're going to do is I have 3 little videos of Karen. Karen is my basic white girl who is a goop a goop, what did you say, a goopian? Is that what you would say? She's all about Chopra. She's all about goop. And so she's always looking for awesome products that you can waste your money on. So, Bull, are you ready to switch to screens and pull up Karen so Doc can see if he can guess if it's a real product or not?
I'm totally stoked.
Okay, it's going to be 3 different ones.
Let's do it.
Hey there. It's time to play. Is it real or not?
Oh my God, pause it.
So, Doc, are you ready for your challenge?
Yes. I feel like Max
Use a deposit.
Yeah. I know who that is. I know who this woman is. That's Melinda Lyons, the world's worst and most inept psychic. Looks exactly like her. Hey, Melinda, how's it going? I'm ready for my challenge. Bring it. See, I'm trying to match heads.
Okie doke. So, this particular product, it helps you with whiskey enemas. It's reusable. You take your favorite whiskey, stick it in this little enema bomb, shove it up your bum for a fantastically glorious, cleaned out alcoholic enema.
Oh, Jesus. It's for anyone in the audience thinking about doing this at any point in their life. Don't fucking do this. A whiskey enema could be so much alcohol hitting your bloodstream so fast can really fuck up you. So never ever do this. If you want to do an alcoholic enema, take about an egg cup full of red wine and add it to about half a liter of water. That's how you do it. Fuck's sake, it's called butt chugging. Do it right or die.
So is that is the whiskey enema bomb real or no? What do you think? What do you guys think?
No.
Nope, it's not real. But beer enemas are, and so are coffee enemas. You can get a coffee enema bomb on Goop, I believe, is about $60. So do not put whiskey in your butt. It can cause anal bleeding and all kinds of awful not goodness, including alcohol poisoning. So
yeah, because you get a great big charge right through your mucous membranes, as opposed to having mixed said whiskey with the entire contents of your stomach. You idiot.
Somebody actually has done that. You can look that up. I think they had a question about it somewhere on Reddit. So, so that is a thing that's happened. Don't do it. And so, all right, next one, next challenge. Yes, you got a question.
A friend of mine, who's otherwise quite a straight-laced guy, advertised on Facebook that he was going to have a colonic. And he was paying like £80, so like $100. And we were like, Jesus, really? And why are you telling us? And I had to say, I'd probably pay $100 not to have someone stick a hose up my ass. It seems really strange. It's like, here's a first world problem. Oh yeah, in the hole and said plumbing. It's really filthy. I'm going to get someone to rod it out. I mean, no. Eat fiber, drink water, you idiots. Oh, the hose is much more direct and it's fantastic because it does a thing to your chakras and whatnot. I tell you what it does. It makes you feel really good when it's over. It's like, thank fuck that's over. And you kind of walk with a wee spring in your step.
Oh gosh.
Maybe I'll try that one at work. It's like, gentlemen, I'm going to treat you to a high colonic each out of the entertainment budget. That's right. We'll all go and we'll get our colons hosed out by some random stranger. I mean, for fuck's sake. People are stupid. Did you ever see this one? In the shopping mall, there's a tank of fish. Like fish.
Oh, they eat your toes.
Swimming about.
They like eat the Yeah, off your feet. Yeah, I've
The,
seen
the
that.
dead skin off your feet, and people pay money for that. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting on so many different levels. I'm like, how
Okay.
clean
All
are those
right.
fucking fish? Right. Anyway,
You ready
sorry.
for the next one? You ready? You ready for the next one?
I'm
Let's
strapped
do the
in.
next one.
Okay, let me align.
So,
All right.
here is the next challenge. I was looking around online and I found this product to where I can detoxify my shower. It's like a special type of metal thingy that you like stick on to your shower head, and it goes through and you can filter out all that bad tap water and make it super clean, so you can wash your hair
totally
even
real.
cleaner with
Totally
the extra
real.
clean water. So is it real?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah. What do you guys think in the chat?
Absolutely
Is it
real.
real? You think it's real?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can get
It
all
is.
kinds of them.
All right. So yes, you can get on Goop. It's $220 to get a detoxifier
that's
for your shower.
so. Presumably, it's got like a coffee filter and a bunch of crystals in it or something. You know,
Something like
or it's
that,
been
and they're like,
blessed.
there's no mold. There's no mold there, and that
Mhm.
sort of thing. And I'm like, okay, all
Yeah,
right. It's like
there's no mold in
stainless
my
steel.
shower head either. You know why? Because I clean it, and I'm not an idiot. You know.
Oh my
But
goodness!
you know,
Yeah,
God bless them. Some people will think that's really awesome. You know, like
yeah,
I know a guy who always keeps a penny in his left shoe,
yeah.
and
Does that
he
help?
thinks that's awesome, and it protects him from all manner of things. And these things have never happened. Therefore, he keeps a penny in his shoe. But you know, he's insane, affable. You know.
Okay.
What's the next
All right.
challenge?
The next one. All right. So this
Okay.
is the last one. His last of the challenges.
Properly aligned.
Here is
now.
the last challenge. Are you ready? You
Bring it.
love this, don't you?
Yeah,
Anywho,
I actually
there's this
do.
particular face wash, and it's like a scrub, and it has little teeny tiny particles that are diamonds. And you rub it on your face, and then you take this brush and you go through, and this brush spins around,
real.
and it's supposed to
Totally
like
real.
exfoliate your
Totally,
face,
totally
making it
real.
look a whole lot younger than now. So is it real, do you think?
Yes, 100%.
So you guys think it's real? Is there a diamond-based type of scrub that you can rub on your face and have a brush that rotates? Rub it in really
Magic
good.
brush.
Exfoliation.
Shanty,
Magic
shanty.
brush,
It makes you look 12 years old again. By the way, when I was 12, I was covered in acne. I don't want to look 12 again. Couldn't grow a beard. No, thank you.
It is real.
Scrub.
It's real.
Of
It's
course.
about $80 to $90. You can buy this and rub it on your face, and then exfoliate with a rotating brush. Yeah.
I mean, exfoliation is fine, but you can use like half a handful of oatmeal, and it's actually really good. You know, it's kind of anti-inflammatory as well, and it costs fuck all.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so it's totally real. You guys did a good job in the chat too. Diamonds are common, especially in industrial quality. Yeah, I would probably say so. Not the kind that
diamond dust. You know, they're getting the sweepings from the diamond plant, and it's a kind of molecular level. And you know, this is probably a pretty innocuous thing, but $90. I used to make soap with volcanic sand from Iceland. It's really fine. It really works, you know. But I didn't say it was magical fucking soap. A volcano made the soap. 5,000 million years in the ocean made the sand, and here it is. Give me $100.
Oh my goodness.
I like her though. She's one of the nicest women I've spoken to for, well, about 45 minutes actually.
Oh, who? Karen?
Yeah. Oh, wrong side. Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah, Karen. Yeah. Karen's pretty cool.
She's really awesome.
Yeah.
What is a basic white girl, by the way? I don't know what that is.
We use that term over here in the U.S. A basic white girl is a girl that likes the pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks, likes type of pseudoscience nonsense. Walks the line sometimes of anti-vaxxer, kind of goes over and kind of dives into a bit of that woo stuff.
Cool.
Probably.
If you have Reddit, go look up entitled parents. They mention Karen a lot on entitled parents.
Yay, Pete just subscribed. Awesome.
Hey, Pete. Awesome. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. So we can take some more questions from the.
Yeah, everyone should subscribe to Mel right now and thumb up this video because fuck G-Man.
Oh my goodness. He might be in the chat pretending to be another person, I think. Somebody had a very gender-based question for you.
Cool. For me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Something about how is it that guys act masculine and women act feminine?
I know plenty of exceptions to that rule. It's a really interesting question. I know plenty of exceptions to that rule and extreme exceptions, but I guess we're talking about the generalities of the generalities of male versus female, and quite a lot has to do with the neuroendocrine system and the fact that our brains are structured slightly differently. And instinctively, we're tuned towards different things. And the ongoing influence of testosterone and estrogen are essentially responsible for a big plus culture and all that entails. But it's basically like saying, and this isn't to disrespect the questioner, it's a fascinating question. But why are men generally physically stronger than women? The answer is essentially the same thing.
I don't know. I think we should arm wrestle sometime. And we can take bets.
Would that prove it? Is that a bonding ritual in your tribe or something?
No, it's arm wrestle to prove who's stronger.
Okay. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right. You ready? Wait, other side. Okay. Wait, no, this side.
Come on.
Okay. Ready?
Ready. Do it.
Just hold on to you got to hold on to the microphone. Go into that. All right. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh,
go towards the light, Carrie Ann.
Oh my God.
Are you trying? Are you trying
I'm
yet,
trying
Mel?
really hard. I'm trying so hard.
It's really sad, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tragedy. Demonstrating.
Okay, I'm letting go now.
Yeah, me too. Demonstrating a trivial point, but it's a fascinating question. Why are men and women generally different? With not saying all the exceptions to that rule.
Oh my goodness!
Why do I have a hairy face? Same answer.
You could choose to shave it, though. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I did, and you got some shots of that in the intro. Fucking huge. And here's the thing: every time I shave it off, I look like a potato, and I don't recognize myself. I keep looking at myself by looking in a mirror. It's like, Jesus.
Oh my goodness. So what I can do, Peter can take some video from this particular broadcast and put it in. So we have that.
Well, when I have legitimate Wi-Fi, we could do a thing for sure.
Okay.
So do we have other stuff to dissemble? Or should we freestyle and take questions from the audience?
I'm trying to catch up on all of the questions in the audience. So why don't you tell people a bit about your background while I look that up, since this is kind of introductory. You've been on my channel before talking about anti-vaxxers, which was a lot of fun, by the way. You had me giggle snorting.
I really don't like anti-vaxxers. Don't like them. I think they're dangerous morons, or, as is often the case, and this is even more insidious, entirely reasonable people who have been convinced by really, really, really bad arguments and feel passionate about it. And for a short period of time, my mother was one of those people. For a short period of time. And she told me about it. And my sister was sitting next to her, and my sister's like, yeah, that's why I got fucking whooping cough and ended up in hospital. But my mom made what she thought was a really good decision at that time. So my background, I'm a mouthy, bearded sort of scientist person. No, my training's in medical microbiology and subsequently in biochemistry, molecular genetics, immunology, and I work in vaccine development or have worked in vaccine development for a lot of my career, but it's now more the design and building of biological drugs, so things based out of proteins in the most part. And most recently, T-cell therapies for cancer, which, watch this space, folks, then this is a game changer and a transformative piece of medicine. So I do a very small part of a very big job. And I run the analytical development and analytical suites for this kind of project.
Awesome. All right.
And I live in the Netherlands, and I'm from Scotland.
Yeah.
And
are you sure you're from Scotland? Yeah. I wasn't entirely certain.
Yeah, definitely. The Scottish borders in Edinburgh. I'm not Edward Norton. I'm definitely not Edward Norton. Uncle Dougal. And I know I'm.
We're losing
all right.
you, Doc.
Losing you a bit. Try refreshing your browser, and in what the animation that I got for Karen is an app that's on my phone. It's part of the iPhone 10. And so it can do little 30-second animojis. And that was a question from Megalite Master. All right. When Doc gets back, we have a question from Jen. Does ultrasonic sound really get rid of mice, cockroaches, and other pests? You were dealing with Slippery Dan the mouse at your house. I remember we've talked at length. You're back?
Hello, I think I'm back. I refreshed things. I heard a question from Jen.
Yeah. So here are your thoughts, because I know you've dealt with mice in your house recently. Ultrasonic sound, does that get rid of mice, cockroaches, and other pests? What do you think?
Yeah, it certainly has potential to do it. I mean, a similar thing was used in Britain briefly to get rid of teenagers hanging around shopping centres and whatnot, like teenagers are wont to do. And they played a really high-pitched sound. I think it was, and I could be well wrong on this, but around 21,000 hertz. So really at the way upper part of your audible range. And the thing is, people my age don't have that. It's gone. It's almost universal. But some younger people can go like, shit, what is that? You know? And it was actually taken down as a human rights thing. It's like, this is selective enforcement. And fuck you, it's based on age, and that's completely irrational. It's horrible. So yeah, I mean, it could have the effect of scaring away critters and creatures. I mean, I spoke to Slippery Dan with thunder and said, if I see you again right here, buddy, you may get murdered. And I haven't seen him since. Yeah.
All right. So there's a question. What does Doc really think of G-Man? Because I don't think we've gotten a full read from any broadcast.
I mean, he's G-Man is an extremely talented performer. as an energy of spirit that I really respect. And I find it quite remarkable, and I find him quite awe-inspiring, actually. He's a big subject, so what do I think of his theology? I think it's disgraceful, and I think he uses it to sanctify a lot of really heinous behavior. But I mean, when it comes right down to it, I've talked to G-Man directly a couple of times. I've offered to help him a couple of times. And he's a vicious ingrate. And I want nothing to do with him, to be quite frank with you. But I will make fun of him as often as I want to. But I think his fluctuation of affect and his tendency towards adolescent rage is dangerous. And I think he's, quite frankly, a simpleton. And that's not a crime, but being a vicious, vengeful loon can really turn into a crime. But maybe he's just self-aware enough to actually rein it in. But he does seem to be a bit of a fuck-up magnet as well. You know, getting fired from the job, gross incompetence. You know, what can you do wrong? Like not stack the barrel is about as far as it goes, really. Except if you if you inadvertently trap in the store while you're ranting like a fruit basket. Atheists made me do it.
Oh my God.
But well, I honestly hope that he gets to a better place in his life. Because as an immoral atheist, I think there's hope for all of us, really, as long as we're upright, or at least breathing and semi-conscious.
Well, fair enough.
And I'm glad. Yeah, I hope that he lives his whole life without being hit by any more cars, because apparently he scored 3 so far. How many cars have you been hit by, Mel?
Just one, and that was in London. And it was
London card.
It was a van outside of the Southwark tube station. And they slammed on the brakes as I bounced off the hood and I kept going. I wasn't actually hurt. Yeah. It was okay.
I'm glad you weren't hurt, but I do feel like a worthless piece of shit for that question now, because I assumed the answer would be near 0. I'm like, fuck. But not 3, right?
Well, okay. All right. So I have some questions we can ask this. More sciencey stuff. Mr. Pluto, the dog, says the atheist experience is coming on in 12 minutes, at which point I'll need to switch over. Thanks for the great content, ScientistMel and Doc Savage. Well, thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right.
And totally.
Okay. So Zune153 asks, do you know about the Chinese scientist that inserted a human brain gene into a monkey? Have you heard about that? I can look that up really quickly.
But I'm interested in what a brain gene is.
I'm kind of
presumably something that's expressed and is significant. But yeah, I mean, things like that happen, and I mean, over here that would be really, really fringe and almost certainly not likely to get ethical approval without extensive pre-work. And I don't know that didn't happen. So let's see what the study actually talks about.
I'll have to look it up. I don't know right off.
Yeah. So the answer to the question is no.
We don't know. And a Chinese scientist brain monkey genes.
I'm guessing P53, but I could be well wrong.
Well,
because,
it might be.
Monkey brain genes are pretty much what we've got.
Okay, so this is pretty recent. So this happened April 10th.
Cool.
So this, at least the MIT Tech Review came out April 10th. Chinese scientists have put human brain genes in monkeys, and yes, they may be smarter.
Awesome.
I don't have the paper. It was the first.
That sounds really, really cool. Although from an ethical perspective, it's the kind of thing we have to be really conscious of
Right.
as it comes out. But
Yeah, I mean,
excellent.
the more we're getting into consciousness of like the pigs with the bringing brain cells back from after being dead for a while. So apparently this publication was on March 27th in a Beijing journal. And essentially this was the first attempt to understand the evolution of human cognition using a transgenic monkey model. And this was from Sue, who's a geneticist at the Kunming Institute of Zoology. She's the one who kind of led the efforts there.
Friend of the show.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Fascinating stuff.
Let's see what else is going on. I thought somebody else had a question. I do have a paper we can look at if we want to. I don't know how much time you have left. On
I have 37 minutes left. 2-hour top end on this because I turn into a pumpkin because I have to get up early to go and presumably get more human rights violations and war crimes under my belt.
I hear
making medicine for very sick people.
Medicine. All right, I'm going to pull up the paper. This particular paper is on massage. Ooh.
In the journal of massage, published in this
is in the Scientific Research Publishing Journal, scirp.org, Health, 2018. Effects of grounding, earthing on massage therapists and exploratory study.
Okay, I don't know that journal, which doesn't mean dick all, but something about this doesn't smell right from the get-go. Just saying.
Okay, so the keywords.
Are they talking about electrical grounding? Like, do you hook them up
grounding.
to a big ground rod, like the one you use for your house?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, do that in a thunderstorm.
It's either really that or people are like getting grounded and sent to their rooms.
That's another grounding. Okay.
Therapist.
Or
shame on you.
Or are they talking about an induced state of calm?
I guess
grounded.
So.
Okay, could be any one of these.
And
the journal of cool.
Yeah, it's Scientific Research Publishing Incorporated.
Cool.
Sounds legit.
That sounds legit. Sounds legit as fuck, actually. Let's go.
Right,
let's see what grounding does and what it is and things.
Here's the abstract. It has sciencey sounding words in it. Can you believe it? It is well known that massage therapists often develop a number of health problems relatively early on in their career. A preliminary study showed that grounding, is there happy endings involved? That's why we have to ask.
Okay. I can give them this. So, sure, they do. What are they? Tell us what they are.
Okay, so this study, they think that this work may alleviate some of the health problems they encounter. All right, so this is what they did. Cool. It's double-blinded, randomized, so that's always good. That starts out pretty strong. Mm-hmm. It's a controlled trial to examine the effects of working and sleeping grounded for 4 weeks on massage therapists' blood viscosity, stress through HRV, so the heart rate variability, inflammation. So they looked at IFN-gamma, IL-6, TNF-A, as well as alpha, and HSCRP.
Cortisol.
Yep. They looked at oxidative stress, MPO, and MDA biomarkers. All right. They show that stress reduction is measured by heart rate, respiratory rate. In heart, they hear rate variability. They misspelt heart in their abstract.
Mhm. That's usually not a good sign, but I mean, shit happens.
All right.
And it sounds interesting.
All right,
Mhm.
so this is what it is. You want to know what grounding is? This is the question. It's not going to your room, Doc. It's
Okay.
earthing or grounding are terms that are
Mhm.
interchangeably used to describe the
Okay.
condition of being in direct contact with the earth.
So they're sleeping in dirt, right? They're sleeping on soil or outside. What is the context here?
Okay, examples.
I love this. I
Walking
love this.
bare feet on grass or moist soil. If you don't like the word moist, too bad.
Mhm.
They have it in the picture. Swimming in the ocean or a lake. Okay, that's another
Mhm.
example. Or using specially designed equipment such as grounding sheets and mats that
Mhm.
conductively connects individuals to the ground when they are indoors. This is
That's
also
awesome.
a Deepak Chopra paper that he claims to have associations with. Yeah,
You know,
so
all of those things market for between $49.95 and $99.95. Awesome, and you should all buy them immediately because grounding will it'll cure what ails you because reasons. But you
this
know what?
reason.
So that's the process for the test group. What's the other process? Does it involve fast food, television, hookers, and booze?
Oh
Because
my goodness. No, I don't know.
that may
They
account for the difference.
had okay,
This
are you
test.
ready? Are you ready for how many massage
Mhm.
therapists they got? 16.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
And they
I
were
hope all of those
employed.
people, I hope
Mhm.
they all feel better. And thank you for you. I think you provide a valuable service. So
Yes.
hope you're all
They
awesome.
mostly complain about chronic pain,
Mhm.
tendinitis, painful fingers, carpal tunnel syndrome, all the things that you would
Yeah.
associate with, grabbing and pushing
Yeah.
and pulling and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
It
hard.
makes
Um,
perfect sense.
they all were working at the Chopra Center. So
Oh
they
Jesus.
studied these people.
Mhm.
And they're at the Chopra Center for Wellbeing in Carlsbad, California, with at least 1 year of experience and with no
Mhm.
diagnosis of a major disease they
Oh,
participated. Okay,
okay.
so
Cool. That's good to know.
a whole 16 people. Um, I guess a double-blind randomized controlled trial. Let's
Yeah.
see. They,
So, I mean, for the non-scientists,
yeah,
a trial can be powered to generate
yeah.
results that are by definition statistically significant. And any trial of
Mm.
16 people is by definition cursory, although it may show something really, really awesome. And sometimes, those are really pivotal studies. Trust me, this one won't be.
So they went through what looks like 6 weeks. All right. They had the first week, subjects were not grounded. All right. The next
Not
4-week
grounded.
period, grounded. The last
hmm
week, they were not grounded. So this is
hmm
the grounding equipment. Are you ready? Is this
Just
is
one
where
second. Did the subjects have any idea that they were either grounded or not grounded during this study?
they were randomly assigned to a cluster or cohort.
hmm
Whatever that means. So they had the stepped wedge design, and an intervention is rolled out sequentially to the trial participants, either as individuals or clusters of individuals over a number of
Okay.
time periods.
Okay.
All right. So all individuals or groups will have received the intervention at some point in time.
hmm
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. So this is how they grounded people. The first thing they did was place a grounding mat placed on the floor or around the massage table in the massage room, and through the use of a grounding tummy band,
What does that do then?
Okay.
It's fun to say that, actually. You look different
Grounding tummy
today.
band.
Dr. Bolton, you look different today. What's changed? I am wearing my grounding band as we speak.
Is that a grounding tummy band in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh my God. Okay, so the grounding tummy band, they use it at home during sleep. So if you have it with you walking around, people gonna think you're weird for some reason, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what, guys?
grounding
You know what, guys? If you introduce something physical and strange, you'll think about it, and your thinkies will be different. So you know, put a really thick rubber band on your left wrist, and see what happens. You know,
Yeah.
I guarantee something will be different. Grounding tummy band.
my-
Jesus. How
study
much do they
staff-
cost?
you could probably they're probably $19.95 on Chopra's website, but they probably come in you can probably get a $10 discount if you get two. So, my
I had
God.
images of them doing the old Dracula bit and sleeping in a coffin with the ground of the home world, the
Okay.
homeland.
Do you want to know how they made certain people didn't know if they were getting the treatment or not? Okay, so there was study staff checked that the ground outlets used by massage therapy, they can't even spell massage therapists correctly in this paper. At the
No, it's
center.
about message therapists, people who come to say nice things to you. It's a message
I
therapist.
guess, it's just, oh my God. So they were given a ground checker to verify that their home grounding system was working properly. Now, they were blinded to when they were or were not grounded, receiving a different grounding cord at the start of each week of the study.
Well, what's the methodology of the grounding checker? Because something tells me that's made up. It's a guy walking around with, oh yeah, totally
like,
grounded.
or do they use
Everything's good.
metal detector? Is it like a metal detector? Is it his Geiger, man? They'd be like releasing radiation. We have the positive radiation.
They probably put a voltmeter probe up your ass and one in your mouth, and it's like, yeah, you're below 3.2. It's all fine. Totally grounded, man.
Sash in the chat says, I saw the grounding tummy band back in '78 when they opened for the Grateful Dead.
The grounding, that's brilliant. I'm imagining an Arkansas jug band with like a washboard player. Like a big fat guy. Grounded
I'm like
tummy.
legit crying. This is so funny. I'm so glad we got to this paper because it's so bad.
Oh, dude. You know what I think sometimes? It's like if I didn't have a conscience, I could probably be, wealthier and more popular by,
I know,
with
but
morons.
we're ethical. We're ethical for some reason, and so we don't get to be rich like Doc. So it's
but we're the immoral atheists, right?
we're horrible humans, I guess. Yeah. Whatever.
Well, I am. I mean, I make no secret of it. I'm a dirty scumbag.
Oh my gosh. They have a placebo cord.
A big part of folk medicine, and one of the reasons that it really works quite well in some instances is focused attention. Someone paying attention to you and telling you that you're going to feel better if you do basically anything. And most of the time that's true. So it does work, but it only alarms me when it keeps people away from legitimate treatment.
I agree.
I'm totally not a physician, not qualified to practice medicine at this time. but I've seen, people turn away vaccines and such because of some bogus bullshit, and it's really, really sad when their children die. That is a real hot button issue for me. That and fascism. That's pretty much all that I'm about, and that is being aware of fascism and jumping all over it, and getting offended when kids die. It's simple, but works for me.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. All right, so they had placebo cords. That's so funny to me. And active grounding cords. Okay, so the people, while they were given proper number coded grounding cords, those are the active grounding cords, at weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5. In order for them not to say which grounded or not, a new number coded cords were given every week. So they renumbered everything.
Presumably they've worked out the pharmacokinetics of grounding. Because they're grounding and not grounding. I mean, is it an immediate effect? Does it take time to ramp up? How long does it persist once it's at the point? These are things that people who do this, like, legitimately have to kind of know before designing a study of exactly this type. So just saying.
It's pretty interesting. So it's ground. I just
let's see their data, and let's hope that all the massage therapists are really happy and doing their thing.
All right, so they looked at the blood biomarkers. Okay, so average concentration of blood biomarkers for each cohort with statistical result.
Okay, so which biomarkers, and are they looking at them separately or collectively?
I'm trying. Okay, so they gave cohorts individual, like AV. It looks like Avenue SD. I don't know why you would use AVE because I just see Avenue. Avenue SD for week 1, 5, and 6. And so this was, let's see, they looked at IFN gamma. It was picograms per milliliters, ILL6, NFA.
It sounds like pretty standard blood work.
Yeah, it's pretty standard blood work. And so I'm going to look at Avenue SD. Okay, that's how I'm looking at right now. They visited, like, after a couple weeks, 11, 11, 14, 11, 14, 12, 14, and 12, 22. All right. So, their INF gamma increased by week 6, and consistently increased. ILL6 first week where I guess nobody was doing anything was 0.3. 5th week, I'm guessing that was the week with the grounding. That was 0.68 of ILL6, and then 0.48 for the week that they didn't do anything. Because remember, 1st and 6th they didn't do anything. They didn't have the tummy band.
Is that what for one of these people, or is that the trend across all of them? It's for one of them.
Oh, that might be the cohort. That was the group. Remember, they put it in the groups, so they called this group. That's for the trend for the group. Which is kind of convenient, isn't it? Rather than the individual.
It really is. And again, I can't see the data, but I'm imagining it's reported in a way that is incomplete too.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
maybe. Okay.
It's in the Google Drive.
What is their conclusion of this study?
Yeah.
Does it come up?
They also looked at respiratory rate. It looks like they put a lot of pretty data on here. I had to go sideways.
Yeah, I'm not dissing it. I think these things, if they're done right, can be really, really instructive. And I'm just not really convinced that this one is.
Oh, goodness. All right. So there were several significant cohort baseline differences for some of the physiological data. First, both systolic blood viscosity and diastolic blood viscosity were statistically higher for cohort A at week 1 compared to cohort B at week 1.
Yeah,
this could indicate a higher level. Yeah.
Statistically different to what degree of confidence?
Right. You know.
Does it say?
Not in the discussion. I would have to go back and look at the data.
Yeah. Okay.
Their
Let's go on. Let's assume it's awesome.
Okay. So it's awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is great when you're part of a team. So it's a Lego movie. Anyway, Table 3 shows that males had significantly higher SBV and DBV than females. All right. Since cohort B had only one male participant, this result implies that the lower blood viscosity for cohort B at all weeks seen in table 2 can be attributed at least partially to the fact that this cohort had fewer males.
That's really interesting. So they're basically saying at that point that this aspect of their data was so profoundly influenced by one person that kind of meaningless.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. Somebody's asking for a picture.
No, maybe they're jumping all over it and they really nail it in the closing stretches. What do you think? What does the audience think? They're going to nail it?
I'm thinking not. People want to know what grounding cords look like. Let me say, I'm Googling it, and you can Google it like really pretty freaking quickly. Well, what I'm getting
ones I've seen are
like electricity or electricians.
The ones I've seen are a tungsten butt plug with a flex cord hanging out that drags on the ground behind you at all times.
Oh, God. Yeah. I didn't think about electricians. Grounding cord meditation. I'm Googling that. It's like, okay, you can find lots of woo blogs about it. The grounding cord exercise and 8 other ways to ground and center.
Anyone who's interested in grounding, I have another product for you. I have a wide range of flavored windows, and I can have them faxed to you. So flavored windows from Doc Savage.
Oh goodness! Do you have Snosberry ones? Because that would be great.
Yeah.
Snosberry.
I just thought of a little joke.
What's that?
What did the monk that was undergoing grounding therapy say?
What?
Om.
Oh, I love it.
Oh goodness.
Oh. Are we talking nerdy yet? I think we're talking nerdy.
We are talking nerdy. We are. I do like a good session of nerdy talking.
Okay, so what was their big reveal in the paper? Because you save your best to last sometimes.
I'm trying to get through. Yeah, I'm still scrolling through and then table here and table here. Oh my God. Oh, they do have p-values listed, so that's nice.
Nice.
All right.
From the 12 people involved, right? Yeah.
16, and apparently not.
Oh, 16, sorry.
Not so much. Okay. All right. However, the present study, I'm just scrolling to the bottom, was designed in part to address long-term positive effects of grounding for 4 weeks, and in part to determine if
by not testing those things.
Yes. And what positive effects last after ungrounding for 1 week,
okay,
sure.
Cool.
So, nevertheless, the fact that cohort B HF increases at week 5 compared to week 1, while the opposite is true for cohort A, resulting in significant difference in cohorts for week 5, week 6, and all weeks combined. The confirmation that cohort A was under abnormally high levels of stress and that cohort B was more relaxed. Again, these results are similar and support the results obtained with the previous variables for like heart rate, respiratory rate, all that. Oh my God.
Okay. So
nothing.
No, I mean, no. It's an interesting premise, but if you're designing a study to test that thing. Generating conservative hypotheses is a really important thing to do. And if you want to test an effect, you generally have 2 matched groups, as closely matched as possible.
Yes.
And then you ground one group for a period, say, let's see, 30 days, and unground the others and don't tell them what's going on. You take a baseline and you track them throughout that, and you talk to them and you collect what data you can. And that could maybe show you something, but probably won't. But if you tell people, you're totally grounded, man, totally grounded. It's
You're
all
totally
good.
grounded. You're gonna go.
Everything is cool.
Oh,
you know, you
my
get blessed
God.
by the grounding guy, like the feng shui guy. Everything's going to be awesome in this house. It sets you
Yeah.
up right. You know, it's a good way to start your day. Hey, man, how are you grounded? Grounded. Totally grounded.
I'm grounded. Yeah, I'm totally grounded. All right. So a limitation. Here are their limitations. So let's see.
Mhm.
The limitation of this study is the modest number of participants. For this reason, we highlighted in blue probabilities between 0.05 and 0.1 as possibly of interest to help design future studies with a larger number of participants. Also, this
That's
study
totally honest. I get the feeling
totally.
these guys are legit in what they're actually trying to do.
Yeah, they're probably honest in their awfulness. Yeah, so it suggests the importance of gender differences and the time of the year for doing such an experiment. Maybe not around Christmas when everybody's stressed out.
Yeah, there was one striking finding that they had. Testosterone levels were dramatically higher in the male cohort.
In the single male cohort. And that skewed everybody's data because we put them all together that way. We didn't think about it. We randomized it so much to the point we got these really messed up groups.
Yeah, I know it's reductive, but the more variables you have in any kind of setup of an experiment, the harder it is to really understand what's going on. And it's fascinating to do it, but you usually end up with a bunch of data that's uninterpretable, at least in a valid sense.
True. They did have nice references. You know, they actually used a Journal of Environmental and Public Health, Journal of Inflammation Research, you know, and there's a few of those. So that was nice. You know,
it could have so easily been a good study with exactly the same resources, or at least a good pilot study.
You know, this to tummy band or not tummy band. You know, that is the question.
What do you think? Could I carry
I think
tummy band?
Yeah, tummy band at night though. You have to sleep with it, and then you plug in your grounding wire
to the tummy band.
So
So you've got like an umbilicus to Mother Earth. That's nice. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it? Yeah. So you got this grounding wire
in a kind of twisted way, though.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And how do you sleep?
As you know, I don't sleep. I have a regeneration chamber like the Borg. It's like it's pretty much like that these days. Yeah.
Okay. Is it like pressurized with higher levels of oxygen?
Well, imagine a cross between Captain America and let's see, the Curse of Pharaoh, something like that. It's a little bit in between there.
Kind of like that. Okay. All right. So when are you getting your injections to become Captain America? I'm curious.
When am I getting them?
Yeah. Have you already gotten them?
Oh dear. Yeah, you're well behind the times.
I'm picking.
This is a known thing. This is a known thing in the circles of the Order, of which I'm a very high-ranking member.
Yes. I haven't joined the Order yet. What do I have to do to join the Order?
It's really cute. That's really cute. You think you haven't joined the Order yet?
I've joined the Order.
I'll send you the welcome package. It's a blast. You'll love it.
Okay. All right. I'll look for it. Is it going to come in towards the mail?
I'll send a drone We'll do the drone,
Drone.
or I'll activate a local asset, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, that's fine. What's going to be the crane flies north on a summer day? That's how I know. Is that what we're gonna use? The local asset will come up to me and say that it'll be something else. Okay.
No, you don't.
Okay.
It's the 21st. It's not the 12th century anymore. So don't worry. We'll get the welcome package to you now that you know that you're on the team.
Oh my goodness! Those of you who are doing little commands for Streamlabs for the chat, I am sorry. I had to shut off the chat bot, so apologies, everybody who's a regular viewer. I'm going to just give you all points for being on, and I will sort out the chat bot fascist that was going around just deleting all of the different comments. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So sorry about that.
Mel, it was definitely God fucking with us.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
You know, when I was at the hospital, you prayed and helped me find my car, though.
That's true. That's true. Maybe we should tell the audience all about that miracle, because it blew my mind, and it totally changed my perspective.
Well, I was at the hospital a couple weeks ago. It was a very happy time at all, and Doc, being the lovely gent he is, was on the phone checking, making certain I was all right, not losing my mind. Which, you know, he's nice like that, but not to everyone. He's mean to some people, so I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah,
he's mean to some people, but he was nice.
I really am.
Yeah. So he was on the phone, and I couldn't find my car, and I was very, very certain that I had parked on the 3rd floor, and I had walked the 3rd and 4th floor for about 20 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Doc's like,
panicking.
Hey, Mel. Yeah, I'm like, I cannot.
In a difficult situation. You know?
Like a very difficult situation. Like, where the heck is my car? And so Doc says, well, I'm going to sing a little hymn. And then he prayed. And then as he's praying and he finishes the prayer, I round the 2nd floor. Because I kept, sometimes those little spiral garages, you don't know, and it's very disorienting. Yeah. So I round the 2nd floor, and as he's finished, there's the car.
Yep. That's absolutely true. Maybe that was a miracle. Maybe Jesus liked the song. That's always a possibility. But again, Occam's razor, car parks have cars in them, and people find their cars. And maybe Jesus liked, "O Lord, thou art not made up." Although usually it doesn't go down too well.
Well,
but you found your car. That's awesome.
I did find my car, and I went and got some barbecue, which was nice. But it was, it was hard because I've run this by several people. I'm like, how do you feel about this? About, praying and finding the car, and they're like,
it's conclusive, man. N equals 1. That's it.
That's it. It's conclusive.
I lost my car as well recently. I think I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
and then I found it.
You found it, yeah.
Yeah, and then I found it, and I didn't pray dick all. So I guess maybe that was a different phenomenon. But you know what?
Yeah.
Good for you. You found your car.
I found my car. Some people were saying that maybe that was just an easy miracle to perform compared to all the harder ones. And that's why that
I'll take it, though. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty exhausted and kind of dehydrated because it was like 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit over here. I'm in the scary scene from Highlander. I'm walking around. I'm like, where's my fucking car? Oh, I've had a couple of cars stolen, and it's a thing. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, no. And I'm looking for Christopher Lambert with a sword. I'm like, oh, I need some help here. Jesus, help me. Jesus, no, nothing. Instead, I pushed the button, and the guy went, yeah, we know exactly where it is. Come on, let's go. I'm like, thanks, lads. Excellent.
You remember, I was like pushing my button. I can hear my freaking car.
No, there's This is the civilized part of the world, and I'm sure the US do it as well. Although I don't know, it may not be the same thing. You push a button and the guy goes, "How can I help you?" Yep. What's your registration number? Yep. Where is? Yep. Know exactly where it is. I'll send Franco down and we'll do business. It's fine. I'm like, I
Oh my
love this
gosh.
country. Thanks very much.
Maybe I need to come
No
to
Jesus.
the Netherlands.
No Jesus involved. Although, you know what, the Jesus of history, as he's portrayed in the Bible, seems a pretty reasonable guy. But in terms of the wisdom, I mean, most of his stuff is like self-evident or otherwise. Yeah, okay, that's great advice. Don't do bad things to people and steal their shit.
Yeah.
Excellent. You know what? My grandpa told me that when I was about 3. Maybe he was Jesus.
Maybe. Jen Morgan has a song for you.
Mm-hmm.
She's come up with a car song. Jesus finds my Pontiac. This was good. This was good. He knew I parked it where I should.
Here's the thing. Jesus actually did build my hot rod. I mean, if you stretch the definition of hot rod, I lived in Spain for a couple of years, and Jesus did a fantastic job, at least restoring bits of my ridiculous vehicle. So thank you, Jesus.
All
thank
right.
you, Jesus.
So I guess we're gonna wrap up because it's almost 2 hours now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You've
that's
lasted
all good, though.
2 hours. You did a good job, Doc.
Thank you so
You didn't
much.
turn into something.
It's been a great pleasure being here, but you know, I can go for a few more minutes, and if there are any questions or suggestions for future themes and talks and bits and pieces, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Yes. And
I
if
guess.
you have suggestions and we're not live at, you watch it later, you can leave it in the comments for any particular suggestions. I'm trying to think. Next week, I think we have it set for, let me see what the topic is for next week. I have Wascally Woo Wolf. So that's David Avocado Wolf, but I'm considering possibly pushing
Awesome.
him to another day and doing Marianne Thompson or something. I think that's her Thomason. She is a presidential candidate who
really?
basically, yes, she had. Let me read some of the things.
Is she insane?
Almost. She's
Halfway
let me
sick.
go through. I think I was fixing her tweets like a few days ago about this. She basically was saying something like the vibes are intense. So be certain to check on yourself and your love, and all this kind of stuff. And so I was just going through,
that could be colorful language for, be emotionally aware, and fair enough, I guess. I mean, she's not saying that Joseph built the pyramids to store grain or anything bizarre like that.
Right. Let me see if I can, I think, oh my goodness. All right. Where is she? Gosh, I tweet a lot. Ugh. Anywho, I was going through and correcting some of her tweets because this was kind of like,
they don't like that, Mel. They really don't like that.
They don't like it when I correct what they have to say because, it's wrong a lot. Ugh. All right.
I've been focusing mainly on pointing out genocide apologetics recently, and that's a joy.
All right. Her name is Marianne Williamson. Okay. Her name is Marianne Williamson, and her tweets are just freaking gold because it's funny. So here's something she said. There's a key in your pocket that you brought with you to Earth. It's inscribed with the words unconditional love and will unlock any door. Okay.
I'm checking. Hang on. No.
Okay.
Mine's inscribed with Jaguar XJ8 3.2. But
Well,
Okay.
I
So I
fixed
guess
it. This is
I'm fucked then, I guess.
yeah. All right. So this is how I fixed. I said there's a key in your mind that you have with you on Earth. It's inscribed with the word critical thinking and enlightening. That's usually how that goes. She says,
Yeah.
the entire universe is literally conspiring to give you an amazing day today. Co-conspire. Yeah. And I said, okay. The entire universe is literally trying to kill you. Have an amazing day today.
Well,
So,
no, I mean not all of it, but
not
most
all,
of it.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
and
here's
what was the
one.
bit before the
The,
universe bit? Because a bit heinous, I think.
yeah. Well, how about it's conspiring to give you an amazing day today.
Yeah, no, it really isn't.
No, it's
But have an
not. Yeah.
amazing day anyway, or have an average day if you can't have an amazing day.
That's all right.
Be nice to someone that you don't have to be nice to.
So this is what she said. The energy will be very intense for the next few days. So let's all remember to check in with love and holiness and beauty every so often.
That's a great idea. Whatever you find
Okay.
those things to be, and they calm your spirits, and I have beautiful things around me, and they improve my mood. How about that?
Okay, that's cool. Well, this is what I said. The heat will be very intense for the next few days. So let's all remember to check in with children and elderly and pets every so often. So,
Excellent. Stay well
and,
hydrated.
that might be fun.
It's good.
She said, God is big, swine flu small. See every cell of your body filled with divine light. Pour God's love on our immune systems. Truth protects.
What, immune system, virus size relative to God. Okay. I'm struggling with this.
Yeah, I think this one is probably a bit kind of, this is a candidate for the presidency who says this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's a little bit unhinged, but by the way, with swine flu, we fucking jumped the shark with that one because it was super infectious, but not super virulent. And when you get virulent and infectious, you end up with something like the 1918 pandemic,
Yes.
and about 50 to 100 million people die. So that was good. And people like me, we were shitting our pants until the clinical data came back, and it's like, woohoo! People get sick, but they don't die. Oh, thank God. Yeah, we were nearly fucked. Well, not really,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't have been nice. But nobody dies of flu, right? Except
Yeah.
the people who do, even today.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think we'll probably, I don't know. There's probably not enough there to play around with Marianne. Let's wait and see how she does if she gets a bit further before we talk about her. But
David
next week.
Wolf, though, he is he is quite the target rich environment, given that he's a huckster and he fucking knows it, and he says ridiculous shit like chocolate. By the way, chocolate is an octave of the sun, apparently. Mushrooms are extraterrestrial, and it's the salt that keeps the water on the ground and not floating away. Some things because reasons, and by his products.
Yeah, he still has me blocked. He still has me blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, should I unleash Kabuki Bob in his direction?
You know, he actually, I ripped apart one of his blog posts that he said were basically, if you sniff frankincense, that's going to help with cancer. And I'm like, and then I went and found the paper he was talking about. So,
not really. I mean, frankincense smells really nice, and I like the scent of it, and it has medicinal properties, just not anti-cancer properties that I'm aware of.
Well, I will get those papers together for next Sunday, and we will read through them. How much fun was today?
I really enjoyed it, and I'm really privileged to be here. So many thanks, and many thanks to everyone in the audience.
Yeah.
It's nice to point a finger and make fun of bullshit, especially when it's dangerous bullshit. And they deserve it. So that's why we do it.
Yeah. That's why we do it. And so this has been the first episode of Oral Audacity. Like, share, subscribe. You can hit the reminders. I've already set up future streams. You can click the little reminder and it'll let you know to come back. And I'll fix the chat bot because I'm going to start doing little giveaways for points and stuff for viewers. So that'll be kind of neat. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's cool.
And be certain you let me know what you think of Doc. He's been here a few times. You know, he might be back on This Week in BS because that was pretty fun.
We shall see. I mean, I've got a lot of crimes against humanity stacked up this week. So, and some, some real heinous shit. Plus the space monkeys at CERN, they miss me. They miss me, and I may visit.
Yeah. And keep looking for those shell checks, man.
Keep looking. I'm on the main vein in terms of that. It's kind of awesome. That's why I have such a lavish lifestyle.
All right. Well, please do check us out next week. We'll be here starting at 3 p.m. Central. Bullionator is our producer. He has a Patreon as well. And, you know, Doc actually has a channel. He does. You post stuff sometimes. It's fun.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm not really a content. Nah, not really. Don't even bother. I hardly ever post stuff. I just like to appear and be mouthy and try to be funny and say things that are true and hurtful sometimes.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Any last thoughts, Bullionator?
No, not really. That was I think we did a good job as far as production goes, and it's a fun show. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I think you did a great job, by the way.
You did. And
well, thank
you to Bullionator. Also, the music is original music that was made by a band called They, just for the show. So thank you for that, They. That was awesome.
Check them out. Buy their shit.
Check them out. And if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on my website, ScientistMel.com. We're going to start carrying Doc Savage's Rules for Life t-shirts. Do you have a rule for life that you'd like us to sign off on, Doc?
Let's see. Doc Savage Rules for Living number 92, if memory serves. Never go to a huckster for medical advice. Instead, contact a trained professional licensed to practice medicine in your area. Usually very good advice. And the hit rate for my book is extremely high, life-changing nugget of basic good sense. Deepak Chopra, go fuck yourself. G-Man, you're vindictive, dishonest, and very, very stupid.
Okay. Well, I've had a blast, and we'll see you next week with Oral Audacity, Episode 2, Wascally Woo Wolf.
Excellent. Doc Savage signing off.
And ScientistMel. We'll see you next time.
I absolutely adore Doc.
Because I have testicles for some reason.